Hi and welcome to my video. Today's video is going to be another update for my project 10 uses. In this project I have 5 eyeshadows in at the same time and I have to use all of them 10 times before I can roll them out. To roll in new eyeshadows I use Laney's master prompt list. Laney's YouTube channel is going to be linked in my description, go check her out. The first shadow in this project has been in here since the introduction in January. I rolled it in for a Colourpop shimmer. I chose this little quad called Tidal Wave and I rolled in this eyeshadow called Lighthouse. In the last update I had used it 4 times and now in the last month I managed to use it 6 more times, which means 10 uses and we can roll it out. Here is what it looks like. I mainly used it on my lower lash line. Per your suggestions, I also tried it as a liner and in my inner corner as well. But the pictures of those are going to be coming up after I have talked about every eyeshadow that's in this project right now. The next eyeshadow has been in here for 2 months. It comes from my Natasha Denona Xenon palette and it is a shade I don't know how to pronounce. The shade up here called Grey, I don't know. It's a dark silver which looked very pretty as a liner, so that is mostly what I used it as. Here is a swatch of it, very shimmery and shiny. I love it, it's so pretty. But we can roll it out. Next 3 shadows I rolled in the last update, all of them. The first one was for the prompt Colourpop shimmer again, I'm quite sure. And I chose my That's Taupe palette and I wanted to work on this shimmer in the middle here called Snake Eyes. I hadn't touched it at all before pulling it into this project, so I really wanted to try it because it looks like a shadow that's right up my alley, and I was right. I absolutely loved it. I managed to use it the 10 times that I needed, last time being today on the inner part of my lid. Here is a swatch of it. So pretty. I absolutely love this shade. I'm so happy I got some usage on that shade. Next shadow I pulled in for the prompt shadow that starts with the letter O, and I chose a shadow called Outer Corner. It comes from my Natasha Denona Clam Face palette. I'm not going to show you the palette because it is very reflective, but here is the shade. Very pretty. Everyday wearable for me. Here is a swatch of it and I managed to use this one as well 10 times. So that means up to this moment, all of the 4 shadows that I have talked about are gonna be rolling out. But the last one, unfortunately, is not. I have 7 uses on this last shadow. I pulled it in for the prompt brown shimmer and I chose to work on my ABH Norvina palette. I wanted to pull in this absolutely stunning shade up here called Dazzling. I had worn it before and I knew how much I adored it. Here is a swatch. You can see all 3 of the bottom shades went very well together, especially these 2. That's actually what I'm wearing as well. This one is in my right here. That's a weird way of showing an eyeshadow look, but sure. A better way of showing eyeshadow looks is coming up right now. I'm gonna be pulling up on the screen some pictures that I have of the looks that I created in the last month with these shades. So in the first picture, I have the shade Outer Corner on the inner part of my lid and Dazzling on the middle and outer part of my lid. The mattes used in this eye look are all from my Panda palette of the year. In the next look, I am using the Natasha Silver shade as a liner. I have Lighthouse, this blue shade, on my lower lash line, and on my lid I have Snake Eyes. In my inner corner I have a random pink shade and the mask again coming from my Panda palette. Next look, this picture is actually taken at my work, so here is kind of what I wore to work. I usually wore like a variation of this look a lot, but in this specific picture I have Snake Eyes on the inner part of my lid, Dazzling on the outer part of my lid, and the shade called Outer Corner I have on my lower lash line. This next look is quite interesting for me. I have this silver shade as kind of like a graphic liner. I was not trying to go for that look, But as I was doing my liner, my boyfriend kind of bumped into me and made the eyeshadow go up on my crease. So I was not about to take the whole look off, and I just kind of worked it into the look. And here I am actually wearing the shade Lighthouse on my inner corner, topped off with a very shimmery shade that comes from the Natasha Denona Xenon palette. And on my lower lash line, I am quite sure that I have snake eyes. Okay, now it's time for the most interesting part of this video, that is rolling in new prompts for this project. So I'm rolling out 4 eyeshadows, these 4, and we are only keeping in this last one. Pulling in 4 new eyeshadows is so exciting. I'm using the Pretty Random app on my boyfriend's phone. I am using the duplicate prompts removed list. Let's go. That is 9. A to Z roulette. Should we do that right away? Let's do that right away. Okay, so I just googled random letter generator. Kind of nervous. Okay, a wheel has popped up. Let's click on the wheel and see what comes up. G? Is that G? That is G. Okay, after we have pulled all the prompts in, let's see what we have that starts with G. Next number is gonna be 72. That is shadow that starts with R. Okay. I hope we're gonna get some that are not just letter prompts here. Next we have 13, going back to the beginning, is shimmer shadow. Okay, we can do that. And the last prompt, 85, going back down again, yellow shadow, matte. Not excited about that one at all. Okay, I'm gonna go rummage through my collection and I'm gonna come back with the 4 new shadows that we're gonna be pulling in. Give me a moment. So I have my new color story here. The first prompt we got was A to Z roulette, and I got the letter G. So for G, I pulled in my Morphe Natural Wonder palette, and I decided to go with this gold shimmery shade here called Gold Mine. I don't really like golds on my eyes, but I mainly picked it for the yellow matte prompt because I just thought that it would go well with the yellow. So that's coming in. I have probably only used this shade like once or twice. Next we got a shadow that starts with R, and we're going back to the ABH Norvina palette. I chose a shade from in here called Rose Gold, so Gold Mine and Rose Gold. It is such a beautiful shade. I have never worn it, but I am very excited to wear it. 10 uses on this shouldn't be hard at all. Next we got the prompt any shimmer or something like that, and I decided to pull in my Naked 3, Urban Decay Naked 3 palette, which hasn't gotten enough love from me since I have owned it. So we're pulling this one in, and I decided to pull in this shade called Burnout. Hope you can see it. You can see I've swatched it just now, but I have used it maybe around 10 times. So even just putting it all over my lid for work is an easy use. And the last prompt, the Troll of the Century, is a yellow matte shadow, and unfortunately I do have a yellow matte in my collection. We are going back to the Cabana Club, Colourpop Cabana Club eyeshadow palette. Not my favorite eyeshadow palette at all. I got this as a gift with purchase, and we are pulling in this, obviously this yellow matte called Go Bananas. Last shadow that we had in this project from this palette was Bahama Mama, and I absolutely disliked wearing that one as well. So this palette does not have a good reputation in my eyes. I don't really like wearing warm tones on my eyes or in general in any of my makeup or clothing or whatever. I much rather prefer cool tones. So a yellow matte is gonna be difficult for me to use 10 times. Probably gonna stay in here for like 3 or 4 months, I don't know. Anyway, this is the new color story. Here's the yellow. I thought it would go very well with the gold, and I think that all of these shadows go very well together as well. I can put this one on the lid and this in the outer corner, and when this is out, I only need to use it 4 more times, I believe. Let me check. Where's my notebook? 3 more times. And when this is out, these two go even better together, so it's perfect. So old color story and new color story. I don't even know which one I prefer. I think the old one. As much as I dislike this blue one as well, I think the blue one is way better than this yellow plus this gold. So there you go. I hope I can get this video up on the 10th. They usually go up on the 10th because, you know, Project 10 users on the 10th of every month makes sense in my brain. But today is the 10th and I was supposed to film this and edit this yesterday, but I was kind of in a Eurovision mood and I didn't want to do anything except for listen to old Eurovision songs and actually watch the whole shebang. And now I'm kind of running late with everything, but I hope I can get it up on time. That is it for today's video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give it a thumbs up and maybe consider subscribing as well. Thank you so much and bye bye.